Well, if you're talking about this piece here, Mr. CANDE Aguilar, it's really interesting. When I came to the show, I was kind of familiar with his work from first coming to the Valley, and he had a really kind of an abstract approach to his work. And now I see where the latest pieces he did, and I really see a Basquiat kind of an influence, almost like a Rosenquist kind of an influence also. But I really admire an artist when you can see the labors of his theory, principles, his concept, and the progression of the work, and how it's like coming about and gelling and changing. And this piece back here, and one that he has in the other gallery, you can witness, you know, the whole process of his theories and the materials and the style, and you know, his concerns, his political, social kind of influences that are the messages that are part of his work. Sometimes they're really hidden, but his later work, it's got kind of these symbols and icons that are, for me, a little bit more recognizable. And I like the personal transition where his own identity is really kind of coming out.
Well, this is the culmination of a lot of work, and not mostly my work, but the work of the artist whose painting, Past the Shock, you see behind me. CANDE Aguilar is a young 35-year-old artist. He comes from Brownsville originally, on the border of Texas and Mexico, and it's particularly gratifying in our new museum in Brownsville to be exhibiting the work of a local artist, but someone with a very broad vision. It includes references to his hometown and to what it means to grow up on the border, but it also includes references to larger things, to art history, which you'll see in this painting, a drawing that's an homage to Leonardo da Vinci. You will see a Mexican revolutionary hidden in the painting. All of these things speak to a very optimistic vision, and one that involves a great deal of self-teaching. He's a self-taught artist, and he also uses paints that he has, what he calls the people's paint that's been returned to Home Depot. It wasn't quite the right tint for the buyer, and so he's taken these colors that we use to paint our homes and our buildings and use them in his artwork. So it's for us, very familiar colors of the city, our border city, and what those walls look like when they become scratched and faded and painted over many times. So it feels both like home, but it also feels much more universal with those larger art historical references. This is work that I find lends more, the more I spend time with it. Talking to the artist is particularly insightful. The different pieces of the painting have many stories behind them, both autobiographical and philosophical. So it's been a very fulfilling exhibition, and I'm hoping that Mr. Aguilar will go on to larger museums. I'd like people outside of South Texas to see his work.
Well, CANDE proclaims himself to be a self-taught artist, and if you take in the entire show, you can see that he unlike using that for a label of meaning you can do whatever you want, he really is teaching himself quite a bit, and it's pretty impressive in the vitality, the size, and the number for sure. Pretty impressive.
Cahn, the artist, he's very, I don't know, different, I guess you would say. He'll see art in just about anything. I mean, any little thing he'll see on the street, out at billboards, TV, cartoons, books, you name it. Wherever he looks, he'll see art, he'll find art, and he'll create something out of just about anything. So he's very dynamic, and he's very interesting.